creativeyatra.com.
Hi friends, this is Himanshu from creativeyatra.com. Right now we are sitting with none other than Sonam Wangchuk ji. Sonam ji, who is a reformist, inventor, innovator, environmentalist and eventually an engineer, has given us the grassroots solution for life-size problems. Let's have a word with him about his innovations and how he has changed the world with his contribution. Hi sir. Sir, how do you feel after first of all coming to the heritage city of Ahmedabad and especially at the India Environmental Festival?
I'm happy to be here and to see that people are taking action to sensitize public about the challenges in the environment that we see today. So yeah, I'm excited and happy.
That's super, sir. Sir, since the theme of the festival this year is based on water conservation and title is I Am Water. So, and your extremely innovative method of conserving rainwater in Ladakh through the innovative Ice Stupa structure, I wanted to know how we can change the things that are happening within our city by conserving the water, sir.
So Ice Stupa is a contextual response in high Himalayas, yeah, where we did what we could. Similarly, in a place like Ahmedabad, along the oceans, you will have to identify the problems and then find solutions, for here. So only the spirit of seeking solutions and doing it yourself without waiting for somebody to come and solve is similar here. You will have to do that here, but then only adding new water, whether it in the form of ice stupas in Ladakh or rainwater harvesting in say Gujarat, is not enough. You have to, I feel, sensitize the people to consume judiciously. As long as we don't have a bottom to the bucket, we pour any water, ice stupa water, rainwater harvesting water, the leakage will take everything out and the bucket will never fill. So it is equally important to fix the bottom, the hole in the bottom, and as well as add new water. So therefore I strongly feel that general public and more importantly children in schools should be sensitized about using all resources, very much water, but all resources judiciously, not waste them just because you can afford monetarily. You can afford monetarily, you cannot afford ecologically, and therefore that ecological currency that you are not very rich in should be understood by people, even if you have a lot of currencies of other kinds.
You touched a beautiful aspect of creating an awareness in children, sir. So when you talk about children, you have already designed the school in Ladakh, I would say. So through the students' education and cultural movement of Ladakh, you have transmogrified how the tender souls of northern India have been gaining knowledge so far. But do you think the overall education system of India, where they are following the IB board and Cambridge school, they needs a little improvisation at the domestic level?
Generally, education is not a ritual that came down from heavens. It was a means of solving our issues and preparing our next generation to do that. That's what we teach them, to make a happier world around them. So education has to be contextual. As your problems are, so your solutions will be. It will be different in Ladakh as it will be different in Gujarat. How can we copy something from Cambridge and hope to solve problems of Ahmedabad? Or even centralized boards and systems. I believe in decentralization of education so that it remains very, very contextual. So people can actually use it in life. At very high level, you could be doing researches for the whole world, and that could be very common. But for common masses who go through primary and secondary education, it has to be very contextual. So therefore, India should have a different variety of curricula to serve the oceans, to serve the deserts, to serve the forests of the northeast, and to serve the high Himalayan mountains.
Region specific education is something which is lacking in our system, I would say. That's a brilliant point, touch, sir. And just for our audience, sir, the domestic audience, if you can give a few pointers on how they can live a more ecologically fulfilled life, a few pointers if you can tell them.
Well, I feel in a nation like India, a civilization like India, where ahimsa is valued, non-violence is valued, we need to redefine these concepts. Ahimsa is everywhere in our ethos. Ahimsa paramo dharma. Now, what I try to point out to people is that we have become very violent, actually, very hinsak. If that is the paramo dharma, we are nowhere close to following it. And himsa today is not being committed with knives and daggers and killing somebody. It's being committed by driving these sleek looking cars. Your cars have become your weapons of mass destruction. Look at the number of cars that a city like Delhi or Ahmedabad perhaps has. That has reduced the quality of air to a level that our elders are dying 6 years before their death comes. Is that not himsa? When your grandmother dies 6 years before her death should be. And the way we consume things, we keep 40 pairs or 20 pairs of shoes when we need only 1 or 2. You may be able to afford it, but every time you buy another, there's a factory that rolls, that spews poison in the river, poison in the air, and therefore all forms of lives, whether it is animals, insects, birds, are being killed, and that is not seen as himsa or violence. So I think never before in the history of this planet were people so violent as we are today. Every 10 minutes, not an animal, but an entire species is being wiped out from the face of the earth. A species being wiped out means there will be no more of that kind of insect or germ ever for the rest of time. So that is the violence we need to see and become again a non-violent civilization.
I'm highly thankful, sir, for joining with us. Thank you so much. That was Sonam, sir, in such a mindful conversation at Creative Yatra with Himanshu, signing off.